"Sir, step back. She'll bite." That's what the security guard barked at me. The first time I saw Eva Ward, little did I know, it was the start of everything unraveling and then, somehow, coming together in the oddest, most beautiful way you could ever imagine. I was just a night janitor, mop in hand, doing my best to look invisible in a lobby made for people in expensive shoes, not guys like me. But when I saw her, that kid with white blonde hair curled on the marble floor, rocking back and forth, humming so softly you'd almost think the silence was louder, I knew right away this wasn't a scene for the morning news. Around her, a whole circle of suits looked like they were waiting for someone else to call the shots. One whispered into her phone. A couple just stared at the ground, and every eye in the building kept glancing at the security cam blinking red in the corner, like justice might drop out of it and solve everything. Let me back up a sec. I'm Lucas Hale, or just Hale to the staff. And yeah, I'm the guy who blows bubbles for fun when nobody's watching. Blame it on the years I spent teaching special ed before the world turned upside down. So there I am, watching this kid fall apart quietly in a lobby full of people afraid to touch her. And I asked the guard if I can just sit, not talk, just be. He tries to warn me off. The last guy who got close didn't just lose his job. He disappeared entirely. But you know how sometimes your gut takes over? That was me. I squatted down a few feet from her, grabbed a battered bottle of dish soap out of my cart, dipped my fingers in some water, and just started blowing bubbles slow, patient, one by one. The whole place changed. She stopped rocking, her eyes tracking the colors floating up and popping on the cold air, like secrets too fragile to keep. From the mezzanine, someone was watching. Malene Ward, the CEO, the kind of woman you imagine has meetings with presidents before breakfast. Her hair wound up so tight you'd think she never laughed. But she saw her daughter go still for the first time all day, and her face cracked just a little. She called me up to her office. "No, thanks, just an order." I went because what else do you do? In her office, she studied me like I was a loose wire in her perfect machine. Finally, she asked, "Who taught you that?" I told her the truth. My daughter, Becca, she's got her own quirks, used to melt down at the drop of a hat, and blowing bubbles was how we found each other in the noise. Malene didn't blink. She told me Eva didn't play, didn't talk, didn't respond to anyone odd doctors, not even her. But I blow some bubbles, and suddenly her world goes quiet. She didn't believe it. If she offered me a job on the spot, come work with Eva, she said, once a week, twice if I could swing it. I said I wasn't looking for charity, and she snapped back, "I'm not offering charity, I'm offering a job." You know what I mean? That's how it started. I said yes, but only if I worked with Eva Alanino cameras. No clipboards, no observers. She hesitated, but finally nodded. 48 hours later, I was standing in her penthouse, Becca's hand in mine, both of us out of place among the glass and steel. No warmth, just edges. Malene warned me, "I don't need you to fix her." I told her I don't fix kids. They're not broken. That landed hard. Becca asked if Eva was the quiet girl when I said yes. She promised she'd be quiet too, and went off to draw in a corner, her own kind of peace offering. Eva's room was a palace, everything in its place, but not a hint of home. I sat down 10 feet from her, sketchpad in hand, and started to draw. After 3 minutes, I held the sketch up and set it down. She didn't move, not at first. But eventually, she crossed the room, picked up my drawing, and sat right next to me. No words, just stillness. Malene watched through the door, tears in her eyes she didn't want anyone to see. We started coming over more. No therapy talk, just crayons, music, quiet afternoons where Eva and Becca would draw side by side, Eva humming so softly it sounded like hope. Malene hovered at the door at first, but one evening, when Eva reached for the blue crayon, the color she always picked for safety, and handed it to her mom, it was like a spell broke. Malene asked, "Why doesn't she talk to me?" I told her, "'Cause you don't sit on the floor. Sometimes you have to lower yourself before a kid will reach for you." That stuck. She started trying small things like eating dinner with us, letting Eva lead, letting silence do the talking. Not everyone liked how things were changing. Greg Stanton, the PR guy, cornered me one day, said my presence was raising questions, maybe even a threat to Malene's credibility. He wanted me to step back, disappear for a while. But you know how it is when something's right for a kid? You don't walk away because it makes the grown-ups uncomfortable. Malene found out, too. They threatened her, said she was risking her career. I told her I'd go if she wanted. She said no. Then we fight. We ended up in court. Eva's dad showed up with lawyers and accusations. Tried to say I was a danger, that Marlene was unfit, all because Eva was finally eating, drawing, talking gin colors, not words. I took the stand, told the truth. Eva doesn't need more labels. She needs fewer walls. And then Becca, God bless her, she stood up and showed the judge a drawing. 3 stick figures under a blue sky. Me even told everyone, blue means safe. The judge ruled in Marlene's favor. Eva got to stay. And when we walked out, reporters swarmed. Someone shouted, "Miss Ward, are you in a relationship with the janitor?" Marlene looked at me, then answered, "I'm in a relationship with the truth, and he's been living it longer than I have." Life changed after that. Marlene brought me blueprints. She wanted to build a space for kids like Eva, a place that didn't ask them to fit in, just to belong. We called it the Ward Hale Room. We painted, we planted a garden. Even Eva started choosing colors beyond blue one day. She added a streak of yellow and whispered, "Hope." That hit me right in the chest. Of course, nothing good comes easy. The press got ugly. The board tried to force Marlene out. She walked away from her title, not her daughter, not the center. She said, leadership isn't about being followed. It's about making space for others to walk beside you. That's what we did. We opened the center, kids poured INO tests, no labels, just music, color, and trust. Eva gave the ribbon-cutting speech herself. Voice shaking but clear. This place is for anyone who ever felt like a puzzle piece in the wrong box. 6 months later, the center was alive with laughter, mess, and moments you don't get back. Eva painted rainbows, Becca taught kids to fold stars, and Molly Newell, she learned to talk in hugs, not PowerPoints. One night on the rooftop, after pizza and paper plates, the wind blew a folded star across the concrete. Marlene chased it, caught it, held it close, and whispered, "I never knew love could be this quiet and still say everything." So if you're still with me, here's my question: what's your color? What does safety look like to you? Drop your thoughts below. Tell us your story, your city, your struggle. Because maybe, just maybe, the world needs less noise, fewer walls, and more people willing to sit on the floor and listen. And hey, if this story moved you, hit subscribe, share it, let someone else feel seen. Until next time, stay kind, stay human, stay listening.